Amira Johnson walked through the golden archway of Wellington Academy, head down, books clutched tightly to her chest. Her uniform was crisp but plain, and her braided hair was neatly tied back, nothing flashy, nothing that drew attention. She was used to being invisible, but not today. Today, Veronica Taylor, the queen bee of the academy and daughter of the city's most ruthless real estate tycoon, had decided that Amira didn't belong, not with her second-hand shoes, not with her scholarship badge, and definitely not in their world of Teslas, trust funds, and Tiffany bracelets. "You lost, charity case?" Veronica sneered as she and her posse, Brielle, Tasha, and Lauren, blocked Amira's locker. "This isn't the free lunch line." Snickers echoed down the hall, and Amira said nothing. She'd heard it all before, but the sting never really dulled. Subscribe to Dark Side of Luna, because 1,000 jaw-dropping stories like this are coming, and you don't want to miss a single one. What Veronica didn't know, what none of them knew, was that Amira had been trained since she could walk. Her grandmother, Mama Zola, was a war hero, a 5-time national martial arts champion, and the woman who'd once taken down a would-be mugger with a broomstick and a glare. Amira hadn't used her training in years, but that was about to change. That night, at Veronica's opulent birthday party, where Amira had been lured under the false pretense of a peace offering, everything spiraled. The plan had been cruel. Dump a bucket of paint on her dress, humiliate her on camera, and post it on social media. But when Veronica's minion climbed the ladder with the bucket, Amira stepped to the side. The paint landed squarely on Veronica's designer gown. Gasps, silence, and then chaos. Veronica stood frozen, dripping in thick blue paint, her designer gown ruined, her face twisted in rage. Gasps turned into stifled laughs. Phones shot up as everyone started recording. Her humiliation now a viral moment in the making, but Amira didn't flinch. She stepped forward slowly, her eyes locked on Veronica's. "You set this up to humiliate me," Amira said, voice steady, "but I don't play by your rules anymore." Veronica lunged, without thinking, without grace, just raw, entitled fury. What she didn't expect was the swiftness with which Amira moved. A simple pivot, a dodge, and a light tap to the shoulder had Veronica stumbling backward, nearly slipping on the paint-slicked floor. "What the hell was that?" Brielle screamed. "She just moved like a ninja," someone whispered from the crowd. In seconds, Amira was surrounded, but not in fear. People were curious, intrigued. Even a few clapped quietly, and then someone from the back shouted, "Yo, isn't that the girl whose grandma used to run that martial arts gym?" That was when it clicked. Tasha's eyes widened. "Wait, is she the one who fought off those guys during the mugging downtown last year?" The energy shifted. The video had been grainy, but the story had gone local viral. An anonymous teen had single-handedly fended off 2 grown men during an attempted assault. No names were ever released, until now. Veronica's fake confidence cracked. "You're nothing but a freak," she hissed. Amira smiled. "Funny, you only say that because you're scared of what I might become." Suddenly, the school's drama teacher stepped into the circle. Mr. Langston, tall, sharp, and always watching, cleared his throat. "Miss Johnson, would you step outside with me a moment?" The crowd parted. Veronica looked smug until Mr. Langston added, "The dean would like to offer you something unexpected." As they walked away from the crowd, Amira turned to see Veronica's glare twist into confusion. What she didn't know, what no one knew, was that the school board had been secretly watching students for an elite leadership program that blended physical discipline with academic brilliance, and Amira had just made their short list. Amira followed Mr. Langston down the hallway, her heart still pounding, not from fear, but from the surge of adrenaline that came with finally standing her ground. They passed the lockers, now silent as students whispered behind their phones, uploading the video, tagging, captioning, spreading her story like wildfire. In the conference room, Amira expected a stern lecture or a note home. Instead, she found 3 unfamiliar faces seated at the table, 2 women in sleek suits and a man with a military haircut, his posture straight as a board. One of the women stood and extended a hand. "Amira Johnson," she said with a voice as polished as her shoes. "I'm Elena Cross. I represent the Phoenix Initiative." Amira blinked. "The what?" Mr. Langston smiled. "It's a private program, invite only." Think of it like a cross between a leadership academy and a training ground for future innovators, warriors, and world changers. We've been watching certain students. Quietly, Elena nodded. We saw the surveillance footage from the gym incident last year. Then we saw the way you de-escalated today, even when you had every reason to lose control. That kind of restraint and power, that's rare, the man finally spoke. We've reviewed your academic file. Top marks, especially in strategic reasoning. You're not just skilled, you're brilliant. Amira sat down, her thoughts racing. So, what do you want from me? We want to invest in you, Elena said. Full scholarship to our summer intensive. Travel, mentorship, training. The kind that changes your future forever. Before Amira could respond, her phone buzzed. A message from one of the underclassmen she barely knew. You don't know me, but thank you. Watching you stand up to them gave me hope. And then another. You have no idea what you just started. She looked up. Elena's eyes sparkled, as if she knew exactly what Amira was thinking. Your power isn't just your fists, Amira. It's your presence. And the world needs more of it. Amira stepped out of the conference room with a new calm in her stride. The air felt different, as if the weight she'd been carrying for years had finally lifted. Word had already spread. Whispers turned to nods, nods turned to claps. The same students who once avoided eye contact were now opening doors for her, holding their heads a little higher, inspired by what they saw. A few days later, a formal assembly was called, this time not to shame but to honor. Principal Walsh took the stage, clearing his throat as the auditorium hushed. Students, today we recognize someone who turned pain into power and bullying into bravery. Amira Johnson, please join us. Amira walked down the aisle, chin high. The applause was deafening. In the crowd, she spotted Veronica sitting silently, no longer surrounded by her clique, many of whom had turned on her after the footage leaked. Karma didn't whisper this time, it roared. Taking the microphone, Amira smiled. I used to think that hiding was safer, that silence was survival. But I realized power isn't in how loud you are, it's in how long you stand, and I'm done sitting down. She paused, breathing in the moment. To anyone who's ever been told they're not enough, you are. Your story matters, your strength matters, and you don't have to wait to fight back. You can rise right now. The crowd erupted. Weeks later, Amira boarded a plane to the Phoenix Initiative's elite summer program. New city, new mentors. A future that once felt impossible now unfolded in front of her, full of promise. She wasn't just surviving anymore. She was leading. If Amira's journey inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to Dark Side of Luna for more powerful stories where strength, justice, and identity collide. Hit the bell so you never miss an episode that could change the way you see the world.